be involved in the libertarian movement?
Well, I think it's tragic what's being done to people, especially the people at the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they need real help, and the government is not only not giving them that help, they're destroying them. For example, when I was renting to a couple of my tenants, I got a call from a city official who told me they wanted me to evict 2 of my tenants.
Really?
The reason was, yes, and the reason is one was doing daycare out of her apartment and the other was sewing curtains for businesses.
They had jobs.
Yes, they had created their own jobs, and they were, they were in the startup phase. They were barely getting by. And I told the city officials this, and I said, well, we don't care. That's not the point. The point is your apartments are zoned residential, not commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, even if we granted a variance so the woman could do this, you'd have to really spend a lot of money renovating your apartment because the daycare center needs to be a certain size and things of this nature, and the women haven't paid for a business license.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told them I wasn't going to evict them. That would be cruel.
Uh-huh.
But the city inspectors and the officials kept pestering these women, and finally they came to me, both of them, and said, we just can't take the pressure anymore. We've been threatened with fines and imprisonment. We're just going to quit our businesses and go on welfare because then they won't bother us anymore. And they did, and neither of them ever did get off welfare.
So you think much of poverty is created by government?
I think most modern poverty is created. I think it's even true for the third world.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the third world is poor. And John Stossel had a wonderful expose on this. What he did is he tried to open a Frisbee business in Hong Kong, New York City, and India. In Hong Kong, it just took him a couple hours to get a permit. In New York, it took weeks. But in India, it was going to take years, and he might never get permission.
Wow.
So how can the Indian people work themselves out of poverty when they can't even get permission to go to work?
That could be the best workforce in the whole world there. I mean, that's a huge workforce.
Mm-hmm.
And that workforce working in an economy can create more jobs and a huge need for more products and services from this country.
Oh, yes.
But yet we have people complaining about this, calling it outsourcing and saying that it's a horrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have a defense of this practice known as outsourcing?
Well, I guess I don't think of it quite that way, Mark. The way I think of it is this. The regulations in our country today really have destroyed jobs.
Uh-huh.
And in the U.S., you can actually calculate what that number is. Every regulator destroys 150 jobs.
Uh-huh.
So what happens is we destroy all the jobs in the U.S., and then we make our people very, very nervous about seeing jobs, hiring people overseas. But all we really need to do is deregulate our economy. We could rehire the regulators, 150 jobs per regulator. Well, that leaves 149 jobs left, right?
Uh-huh.
So that would hire many of the poor, many of the unemployed, and there wouldn't be a worry then about outsourcing.
But wouldn't then people just be competing for the lowest